Hello, hello. Welcome to the Spiritual View. Hello, everyone. It is Thursday, August the 14th. Can you believe it? We're almost through the month of August 2025. So welcome. We have with us co-hosting this evening the lovely Wendy and Jen and Dawn and myself, Sari. And we are delighted to be with you. And if you're new to the channel, this is our weekly live. And we will have a format of talking about the energy, some astrology. We'll pull some cards for the collective, and then we will pull cards for individuals. And if you are a returning champion, welcome back. And we are just delighted to be building this beautiful spiritual community together. So like before, what we will tell you is if you do want an individual card pulled during our session, please drop a heart in the chat and we'll see if we can get to as many of you as we possibly can. And a couple of announcements that we wanted to make, just so you could take note. Dawn did I guess a first-time class for teaching or learning about your astrology, your birth chart. And it was this past Monday. And if you have not taken the opportunity, it would have been Monday the 11th. It's on replay, so you can see it in our videos. And so with respect to the next opportunity, Dawn, it's going to be on September the 8th, correct?
The class will actually begin, and that'll be for 4 weeks. It'll be one class a week. And I am planning on doing a class another live before the official classes start, because it'll be right before the eclipse. So the week before Labor Day weekend, I will probably do something. I'm thinking the Wednesday before, and that will be a live for people to be able to join and see again what it's about. I really believe if you're going to learn astrology to learn about your chart, then you really do need to look at your chart as you're learning, because that will make so much more sense to you as how the astrology is playing out. And when you can see it in your own chart, it's something new every single time, right? I think we've already talked amongst us about different things that show up in different times of the year. And it's like, oh, that's hitting my sun, or that's hitting this, or that's hitting that. So that's what the idea is that we're going to look at people's charts as they're learning.
That's great. All right. And also, we are going to be doing the new moon in Virgo ritual. That will be August the 23rd. It's on a Saturday, and that will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, we'll post details closer to the time, but just mark your calendar for that. And as you're joining, we're excited to see everyone this evening. Drop in the chat if you do want a card pull, but also where you're dialing in from around the world. We'd love to know where people are joining us from. Okay, any other announcements? Are we good to go? Good to go. All right. Well, we're going to be talking tonight about the Venus and Jupiter on top of Sirius and some of the energy around that. We'll be talking about what this means for us. A lot of this, Dawn, as we talked about it earlier, we all get together before we go live, and we were talking about the importance of setting boundaries. And this is boundaries for ourselves, but also boundaries in relationships with others. So we're going to be talking a lot about that this evening, and talking about how do we protect our health, our direction of our life, and how do we stay authentic to who we are and not the stories that people have been telling us of who we are or were. And so we'll be focusing on some of these topics tonight. So it's a interesting time, interesting energy. And I think this week has been a week of a lot of continued inner child healing and transformation. And so again, I think we're looking forward to having these conversations with all of you. All right, so we're going to get started by a quick energy clearing. And we're going to be focused on protecting our energy tonight and clearing our chakras, focusing on self-care, but also protecting ourselves from the outer world, people around us. And so we're just going to do this. And if you can incorporate something like this of your own design or creation when you get up in the morning, or before you go to bed at night, or before you travel, it's always good to keep your energy clear as much as you can. All right, so we're going to ask everyone just to gently close your eyes. And we're going to start by taking a few nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Let's inhale through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. In through the nose again. And exhale through the mouth. And just continue to relax. Take some nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Just dial it down. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. And let your breath become calm and steady. Just relax into your body. We're going to visualize tonight a stream of pure white light descending from up above that enters the crown at the top of our head. The light is warm, cleansing, and it's filled with love. It clears away any stagnant energy from the crown, restoring balance and clarity. Next, the third eye, where the light descends. Allow it to dissolve any mental clutter and open to your inner vision. Continue that light through the throat chakra. Feel it washing away blockages and empowering you to speak your truth with confidence and compassion. Let the light flow into the heart chakra. Release the heaviness from the week, any emotional residue, and fill your heart with compassion, self-love, and unconditional acceptance. Moving down to the solar plexus. This is your personal power center. Affirm, I am strong, I am safe, and my energy is my own. Moving down to the sacral, below the navel. Release any tension and reignite your creativity and your joy. Finally, guide the light to the root chakra at the base of the spine. This grounds you into the earth, drawing stability, security, and strength from below. Visualize roots that anchor you deeply into Mother Gaia's core. Now, this beautiful white light, imagine it expanding outward from your body, creating a sphere of shimmering protection around you. Archangel Michael is here to provide that protection. It allows love and light to come in, but it blocks any energy that is not aligned for your highest good. Now, let's take one last deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you're ready, open your eyes. We are clear and balanced and protected. All right, Dawn, over to you.
Well, hello, everyone. So we had an interesting week happen with the Venus-Jupiter conjunction at 14 degrees of Cancer, and that being on top of the star Sirius. So all about the Lionsgate energy and everything going through. And to me, when you consider that Jupiter is in its exaltation in Cancer, good news, right? Venus being in Cancer, she's very much about the home, what our personal space is like, our devotion to our family, our ancestry, our memories, all of those things coming in. And that was this week. And she will meet up again with Jupiter, but not until Jupiter will be in Leo. So it's a full year that we have before they're going to meet again. Jupiter does not move into it'll be June of next year that Jupiter moves into Leo. And I think probably in July is when Venus is probably going to meet up with him at that point. I think it's at 6 degrees of Leo. So we have all of this energy. And I wanted to point that out because this is a set point. It's like the new moon of a clock, right? So we are going to have this very nice, super beneficial energy where Jupiter was at its exaltation and she's very at home right there in Cancer. And this is going to play out through the next year while Jupiter is still in Cancer. So she'll go into a sextile, she'll go into a square. They're both benefic. So the only bad thing I can say about that is too much of a good thing. That's about the worst that you can say when they are together, like you either spend too much or you eat too much. That's the only bad thing I see when Jupiter and Venus are together. It can be too much of a good thing. That's the worst case scenario. And then it's going to continue all the way around, right? So this is just a beginning point. And this is a great thing for us to take advantage of. And that is part of one of the questions that, the question that we're going to ask for the collective, which is, where do I need to set better boundaries to protect the blessings and opportunities that are going to be coming in for us? And I think this is very important to point out. And I will bring up this chart, add it to the stage here, and actually make it a little bit bigger. Okay. So this is the new moon in Virgo that we will be setting intentions for on that Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And right away, you can see there is a yod that points down to this 0 degrees new moon. This is beginning in the energy of the eclipse energy. It's 2 weeks before the eclipse happens, so it's in that eclipse energy already. We have 2 new moons in Virgo. Those are going to be incredibly strong. The first one is at 0 degrees. The last one is at 29. And they are going to be talking with all of the other things in the chart, because when we get to that 29 degree of the eclipse, Saturn will have moved back into Pisces and will be like at 29 degrees. So those are the things that are going to be coming up. So this is a really important time for you to be setting intentions. And what I want to point out to you is that with 0 is the perfect place to set boundaries, especially in Virgo, which for a lot of us is really trips us up. I will say also Libra and Cancer and Virgo all have this happen. They give too much. They wear out their energies. They I always, especially about Cancer, it's like Cancers never run out of love, but they do run out of energy. And this is one of the things that I think you're going to be protecting, is that you are your own sovereign self. You need to protect your health. That is very much Virgo. The body, where Pisces is a much more spiritual. So having that blend of those energies coming through, I think we all need to set the intention, especially of not allowing other people to cross boundaries with us for our own personal protection as far as our health and whatever else may be going on in our lives that's really important, and making sure that we allow time for ourselves. We've all been getting the messages in all of our card readings that it is about you taking care of you and you going on your journey, and that helps the collective. So all of this is really designed for us to start at a 0 number. And again, Hecate is going to be involved with all the eclipse energy, and I would advise using a black crystal, tourmaline, obsidian, something like that as protection to help you keep that protection. First thing in the morning, just set a nice boundary around yourself, and you can carry tourmaline with you, and only something for your greatest and highest good is allowed within, and to keep other people's energies out, and also the collective energies as people, they watch the ticker tape of doom on all the, newscasts. So there's people that are going to be in fear and in anger, and I want you to stay out of that and be in the observer mode. The other really amazing thing about this, other than, the yod that's obviously there, is this new moon is happening on top of Regulus, which is another royal star. And Regulus, about, I can't remember how many years ago, it was recently that it moved in to Virgo and is there at 0 degrees. So to me, it's like the anointing of the high priestess energy of that new moon being in Virgo to set this whole thing off, and then having two new moons in a cycle that are both Virgo. If you think back to last year, we had 2 Capricorn full moons, and the second one was all around that time of a political candidate stepping down and another one almost being assassinated. So the energies that we are moving into are very, very big. So we want to protect ourselves, protect our bodies, protect our energy, and do in such a way that we're still able to serve, because that's what Virgo is about as well. But it's not being in service to the point that you hurt your own health. So I want that energy to be out there. We do have all of this great opportunity for this. There is a kite with Mars at 10 degrees in an opposition to actually Ceres is at 16 degrees of Aries. So there's that opposition going on. And then that is the spine of the kite. And then we have Pluto and Saturn and Neptune and Uranus, the top part of the kite, with them all trining back down to Mars at 10 degrees in Libra. So very interesting energies that are going to be coming up for everyone. If you have anything in the beginning degrees of any sign, this is for you. This new moon in Virgo is definitely talking to anything that you have at the beginning degrees. So pay attention to those things in your chart. And then as we are moving towards the first eclipse, that's going to be at 15 degrees of Pisces, right next to the North Node, where we should be going spiritually. That's why this is a nice 0 degrees of Virgo. Then we go to that 15 degrees in Pisces of the lunar eclipse. And that 15 degrees will also be at that time talking, I think Venus at that point is going to be at 15 degrees. So it will be talking to Venus, and it will also be talking to Hecate, which is the goddess of crossroads, of changing, of stepping into something brand new. And I think we'll be incorporating her in the next 3 ceremonies that we do, most definitely, because she is that person that serves as the key, or provides us the key for us to move forward. One of the things that I really like is someone said she doesn't dispel the darkness, but she shows us what's there for us in the darkness. And she's very much of that night energy. So I want us to realize that we are coming into this new shift for the next year. There's going to be a lot going on. It may get bumpy, probably is going to be bumpy, but this is our time to set a sacred protection around ourselves and what we have come to stand for. And I think that anybody that is watching this is part of this energy of being able to help other people as they realize that, they want something different than they've had before. And that a lot of people will be more and more waking up to this energy. So that's what I really want to emphasize regarding this. And again, Hecate is going to be, she has been strong for me all of this past year. She was very strong with the new moon in Aquarius, all that energy. And she just continues to be strong all the way through this. So I think of that as a guidepost for us as we're moving forward into different things. So that's what I really want to focus on this time, is that anointing energy of being Regulus to the high priestess energy of that new moon in Virgo, because Virgo is priestess energy and ties in the body and the spirit and being of service. But again, we are not there to serve the table. We are there to sit at the table. So please take that into your energies, and we will definitely be doing that on the 23rd. So please join us. It will be, I think, something that you'll really, really enjoy, and it'll be a really special moment for us all. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and start pulling for the collective. So let me see, who do we have going first? Is Sari, back to you.
Thank you.
Let me put
All
this.
right. So let me read you the question again. Dawn, you said it, but I'm going to repeat it just so I remember it. Where do I need to set boundaries to protect the blessings and opportunities that are trying to come in? And you just can't make this up. I pulled from the Love of Dragons, and I got the Storyteller card. And this is a reminder for all of us. What stories are we telling ourselves? And where do we need to set boundaries for the stories that other people are telling about us or to us? And I don't know about you guys, but, I've been in relationships, family relationships, where they want to keep Pandora in the box. They want to keep you in this box of how you were, and they don't want to see you for who you are and who you've become. And it is a reminder that we've got to set boundaries with ourselves, not to listen to that negative, monkey mind and chat. The old stories, that's gone. And, when people are trying to put you in a box of an old story, you've got to stand your ground and you've got to speak your truth. And it says, are the stories that you're telling yourself uplifting or encouraging? Or are they diminishing, debilitating, and drowning in the depths of not enoughness? Listen only to the stories that are worthy of you and reflect your magnificent nature. The dragon or dragons demand that you settle for nothing less than to live your legend, to live your best life. And so if you're hearing a bunch of, yah from people around you, the boundary is, I do not accept this. I stand tall in who I am, and I will let my throat chakra be as loud as it needs to be. And so this is just a reminder for all of us. What stories have you been telling yourself, and what stories have you allowed others to tell for you? And so now is your time to stand tall in your authenticity and to say, this is who I am, and this is who I'm becoming. And if people don't like that, that's on them. That's not on you. And I tell you, it's not an easy thing always to do. First of all, setting a boundary. And I think, Lindsay, you said it really nicely. You're setting boundaries, but it's hard to do. It's easier said than done. And people test our boundaries. And so again, what a beautiful card of the storyteller and what stories we're telling ourselves, but do not get caught in the trap of the stories that others are telling to us or around us about who we are. So with that, I am going to turn to Wendy.
Thanks, Sri. Of course, what I pulled is going to go just right in line with what you pulled. And I pulled from Sacred Destiny Oracle, and I got courage. So we all definitely need some courage with setting these boundaries, but this is also with setting a boundary to don't let anyone keep you from standing up for yourself and speaking your truth, right? So it says, step forward, throw your shoulders back, and stand up for yourself with passion. Speak up for those less fortunate. Be impeccable in all your actions. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Don't be limited by the beliefs of others. Use your passion to make a difference. Courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. Fearless means fearless. Acknowledge your fear and take action anyway. Make a stand. You are strong and powerful and have great valor within you. So, sometimes in making a boundary, it's also drawing a line in the sand, saying, hey, no, this is what I'm okay with. This is not what I'm okay with. And then you really need to have that courage to kind of hold the line there, right? and stay true to the boundaries that you're setting for yourself, which, especially when it's something that is difficult and scary, that can be a real challenge, you know? So I think that having courage and moving forward with these boundaries, very important. Okay. I'm going to pass it on to Jen.
Okay, so I have pulled with the Sacred Symbols Oracle, and the question again is, where do I need to set better boundaries to protect the blessings and opportunities that are trying to come in? And we got the Veiled card, and so the first thing that I got was, you got to keep some things to yourself. And so, because you don't know who you're actually dealing with, not everybody is showing up authentically, even if you show up authentically. And so, like, this is like, don't give away all of your secrets all at once. And so, like, I got just like this vision of like, okay, it's like a grand opening. And so, like, you've got like this big business or whatever that you're getting ready to launch. And you know how sometimes they put like, is it like just paper up on the window so that you can't see what they're doing inside, because they want it to be just a complete surprise once, you know, they do finally do the full reveal. They don't want the naysayers coming in. They don't want the competitors coming in, you know, so it's like, you got to know who to reveal to and who not to reveal to. It's like a energy of discernment right now. And so I wrote down a few notes here. We've got something that I saw earlier. A goddess doesn't explain her magic, she just cast it. And then just some thoughts to think about is, so what things do you need to keep private right now? What things are just for you right now? And who has actually earned the right to see behind your veil, to see behind, you know, what the things are that you're trying to bring in? And how do I discern between people who are actual collaborators and people who are just wearing the mask? And so, like, that's what I'm getting right now, is the way that we can set those boundaries is, one, not give away all of our secrets all at once. All right, so I'm going to move forward now with Dawn.
And I am using the Kuan Yin deck. I haven't used that for a while. So what came out was the 10 Sisters of Light. And there's two different meanings of this group. One is that it's all you, the many lives that you have lived, all of your past lives culminating in this lifetime, and all the wisdom that you bring to the table. And for me, it also has, it's one of those things, it's this and that are true. This is also, we are raising our vibration to a level where we are connecting with our soul tribe. And our soul tribe is going to be there as support for each other. And just think of it this way. We are all moving into that high priestess node. How would one high priestess treat another high priestess? With respect. That is your first guidepost, is you will know who's on your team by the way that they treat you. And you do need to have boundaries. As we were talking about boundaries, one of the things that I remembered from when my children were small is that everybody, even if they're a good person, and especially children, even if they're good children, will test boundaries. They will test you. And was it Jen that you said that test that comes in? Yeah. And I really do feel that's going to happen, but it gets easier because once they've tested it once or twice, then when you say no, they don't even question it. It's just like, when she says no, she means it. Okay, done. It's hard at first. It gets easier. It gets easier. And again, look for those other people that are treating you with respect. How would one high priestess treat another high priestess? That should be your guideline as you're moving forward into this energy. So we're going to go on to pulling for singles. So we will go ahead and go to Sari first.
Okay. Wow. Great messages for the collective. Those are really incredible and really aligned. And what you guys don't know, we talk, 15, 20 minutes beforehand, but we don't know what cards we're pulling until we go live. We're sitting here shuffling while we're making announcements. And so when we pull cards, we don't know which decks we are each using. We don't know which cards we've pulled. So sometimes it's a surprise to us about how synchronistic the messages are. And it just happens over and over again. So we just wanted to share that because, it could look like, we deck the system, but we really don't. We just pull. All right. So I am going to pull tonight for MC. So MC, I was drawn to you because you said that you have something, a medical procedure, just something going on tomorrow. And we're basically saying out of the collective message around setting boundaries, individually, what spirit's message for you. But I was drawn to the Angels and Auras deck and I almost cried. I just pulled this card and it says, angels are watching over you. So you do not need to have a single bit of fear. You've got a whole host of angels. I just heard Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael will be around you and to make sure that you are supported, protected, and loved. And so you need to know that you've got the angelic realms all around you. I hear that messages surrounding you of the Elohim, of the seraphim. You will have all this support during your procedure and helping you recover. So you are divinely watched over, love, and you will get through whatever you're going through tomorrow with flying colors. And you just have a lot of angelic support and light all around you, and sending you blessings for healing and for good luck for tomorrow and the weekend. But this card just flew out, baby. So you're going to be just fine. All right. And with that, I'm going to turn it to Wendy.
All right. So I pulled a card for Lindsay, and I pulled from the Enchanted Map Oracle. And I got a 12. I got slow and steady. So this is, again, with the setting boundaries to protect blessings and opportunities. I think you need to set some boundaries with your time, where you're letting yourself be drawn to and not letting others tell you what you need to be doing with your time, but being really cognizant and aware of how you are spending your time. Because it says, remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race. This is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. Pushing things forward impulsively will not only prevent success, but potentially cause more trouble than you're prepared to handle. So moving too quickly will only yield unripe fruit with a bitter taste. Slow down, breathe, meditate, think self-care. You're not a human doing, you're a human being. Just be, because everything will work out if you can just apply the brakes and become more aware of what's happening in this moment. A calm focus on the now, breathing in the beauty of your surroundings will restore your power to consciously co-create your world. All fruits ripen in their own time. So just, take a breath, think about it. We've been talking about this, do a meditation. We've got them. We've got some online you can access easily. Take the time for yourself. Think about how you're spending your time. What are you doing? How are you moving forward with that? What's your perspective? How are you just so rushed and kind of frenzied? Because I know it happens to all of us. We all get caught up in it. I mean, we were just talking before we came on, the days feel like they're just blurring together sometimes because you're just trying to keep up. I think I even said that in my video earlier today. I feel like I've been a step behind. So this is also a good reminder for probably all of us as well. Just pay attention how you're spending your time, what you're doing, and make sure you're making time, setting those boundaries for yourself, for self-care, and making the time to take care of yourself. Okay, hope that resonates for you, Lindsay, and I'm going to pass off to Jen.
Okay, so I have pulled for Aqua Jen, and I used the Biblical Tarot to pull for you. And the card I got was the Empress. And so we're talking about boundaries, and the boundaries that you need are around your heart. Because what I got is that, I mean, you've got just this beautiful heart that just completely wide open. And your energy, because you are the Empress energy, you attract in everybody. And so like I was like, as I was sitting here thinking about this card, like you're like the Ferrari, and so everybody wants you, but not everybody can afford you. And so you know, you have got to have really good boundaries around your heart, because people will be playing with you, because they will know right away that they can't afford you. They will know that like soon enough you're going to figure out that they can't actually level up, you know, to where you're at, and that you're going to have to release them. But they will play games with you until you get to that point. And so you're going to have to know when to cut those ties, and to know that it's not a sign about anything's wrong with you. It's like literally because you are so above their level, they can't meet you there. And so just have good discernment, good boundaries, because I mean, your heart is like the most beautiful part about you. And it's just like literally it's wide open. It attracts in everybody. You have the high value that everybody wants, but not everybody can afford you. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Dawn.
Hello, I am reading for Jennifer Marsh, and I believe she said she was from Oklahoma. Hello. And I had 2 cards fall out, and it's really weird how Spirit did this, because the card here, okay. So this is the card. And it is beginning a new cycle, which is what we were talking about, this new moon energy in Virgo. But Spirit wants me to read from View from Above's card. So I'm going to show you this because it was so funny the way this came out. It was just like, okay, I show this card, but read from this information on this other card. So we're going to do this because I think you'll get it with what it's been saying. Don't get bogged down in details. Let go of petty concerns. Get the big picture. Imagine that you're seeing your life from above. Only do what is truly important. Everything else is inconsequential. Go through each area of your life to look and see what the big picture is. Make major life decisions based on this strategy. So to me, that is just, this is a new beginning, and you are going to be setting boundaries, but you're going to be looking at things from above. You're going to be looking at things from a higher perspective. And it's people that, when I was looking at it, it says, don't get bogged down in details and let go of petty concerns. There are people that are just, there's some people that just live to get on your nerves, right? So I think that is something that you need to like rise above that energy. And number one, time to cut those people loose, really. If they can't be your cheerleader, then they don't belong anywhere near your team. And this is you setting new boundaries. But I do think it's this look, going through your life and just, taking inventory. That's the energy that I got, is that, you're taking inventory of your life and you're looking at it from a higher perspective. And it's like, okay, in 3 years, is this going to matter? Should I be doing this again still in 3 years, or should I be done with this? So I feel like take a look at those things with a longer term view as to what you should be doing. So that is the card for you. And we will be moving on back to Sari.
Okay. I am reading for Ron. Good evening, Ron. And for those of you who have not met Ron, he was one of our Wild Card Wednesday guest hosts, and he is a spiritual enlightenment coach. He's actually coached me, and I've known him for years now. So, Ron, your card came from the Oracle of the Seven Energies, and you have this deck, so this is not going to be a surprise to you. And this is called Open to Discovery, or Opening to Discovery. And I'm going to read a little bit from this, and then I'm going to talk about what what I'm hearing. It says the universe is always engaging us. We are all part of it, after all, through synchronicity, omens, and other signs that point towards the best path. Our intuition helps us tune in and see our environment like an oracle. However, this new information doesn't always make sense right away. So being curious and non-resistant is the key to learning. So I think for you, Ron is probably what, two or 3 years ago, I was doing a series of Akashic Records readings with him. And one, he was this really fantastic samurai from ancient Japan. And he has the love of the Japanese and samurai culture. And that's where the runes attraction came from, because the runes are a lot about being a spiritual warrior. And he was having conversations around, how do I open myself up to be of service in my spiritual gifts? And so our boundary is, don't have a boundary, be open, because a conversation that we had 2 or 3 years ago led you to take the leap of faith to go on a camera on YouTube and be our Wildcard Wednesday host. And probably 2 or 3 years ago, you would not have even have thought of that. And so this is, I think, just affirmation, Ron, that you have opened yourself up to discovery. And the more that you experience just learning and being of service and just letting whatever happens and what the universe brings to you through these signs and synchronicities, sometimes those little decisions or those small moments where we say yes to things, where it might have not been something that we had thought about before or pictured ourselves, and it can open up these huge doors of opportunities to spiritual expansion. So Ron, this card is perfect for you because it is reflective of your opportunity and your boundary, where your boundary was no boundary. I'm just going to be open to what the universe brings me, and I'm going to listen to my intuition and where I feel called and pulled to serve. And so it's a beautiful energy, and I think it's a great collective message for all of us. Be open to the possibilities, because sometimes we couldn't even think of or dream of the things that are for our highest and greatest goods, because sometimes we dumb ourselves down or we are in fear. And so being open and curious and observant, and just being open to what the universe brings us to experience that continues to open us up, is really a great gift. So Ron, thank you for being a guest host, and I will pass it now to Wendy.
Okay, I was not quick with the mouse there. Okay. I pulled a card for Nicole from the Cosmic Journey Oracle. And I got, amazingly, another 12 cards. So this is enter one step forward, one step onward. And this is really about, okay, for your boundary, it's more a boundary kind of inside of your own mind. I don't want you to overthink or overanalyze. This is about like not knowing what your next step is until you've taken a step. So once you take a step forward, then the next step is revealed to you, kind of a thing. But if you're just, getting in inside your head and having that fear of taking that next step forward because you're not sure where it's going to lead you, so you're afraid of where it's leading, it's like you're kind of, you're getting ahead of yourself. So you want to, again, kind of slow down and pay attention to where you're at right now, because each step that you take is going to reveal the next step forward. And maybe it'll explain a little bit better from the excerpt. So it says, you're in a thick fog right now. You can see only a few feet ahead of you, and that's all you need. Instead of knowing each move, exactly which steps to take and in which order, realize that when you walk forward, the next step will be revealed to you. This is a journey of one step forward and one step onward. You are being asked to enter your perfect path awaiting you without reservation and without hesitation. So it's really just kind of not getting in your own way. Okay. So, gosh, I know so many people who do exactly this. They overthink, they overplan, they hesitate because they're not quite sure which way to turn. It's like they want some kind of a guarantee before they take that next step. There are no guarantees. There really are no wrong steps. You just have to take a step, and then that will help lead you to your next step. So it's really about kind of trusting yourself and getting out of your own way and getting out of your head about everything. So think about that and kind of setting a boundary for yourself, and also releasing any fear, anxiety, those kinds of things that you're having about the situation, because that's really holding you back. So hope that resonates for you, Nicole, and I'm going to pass on to Jen.
So first I want to apologize because I didn't know I was on the screen when Dawn was talking. I am so sorry. All right. So I pulled for Gypsy Vixen, and I was actually preparing for you, and I just was in that space. And so I pulled with the Biblical Tarot for you as well. And we got the Page of Grains. We have Priscilla teaching the teachers on this. And so what I'm getting from this is like the boundaries that you're going to need to set is, number one, you're going to need to realize that you are, okay, how do I want to say this? Like more emotionally intelligent. So like the teacher of the teachers is the part that I'm picking up on. And so like, and this is connected with like your family, like the people that's closest around you. I feel like that when you're setting boundaries with them, you need to understand what level you're working with. And so it's like almost like you're working with children. And I don't mean to say that in like in an offensive kind of way, but I think that you know what I'm talking about, because I think that you know what you're dealing with. And it's just like, you're the adult in this situation, but I don't think that you're supposed to be the adult in this situation. I think that that's the confusing part here, is that like in this situation, it's kind of out of balance, but you're having to take on that more parental role in this. And you're having to kind of, the way that you're doing your boundaries is you're teaching with your boundaries though. So it's like, you're not completely like blocking them completely off, but you are setting enough. And it's like almost like in a disciplined kind of way, you're teaching them through these boundaries. Okay. I hope that helps. And I'm going to move forward with Dawn.
Hello. So I am going to be doing Girl Gone. So I was really looking at the cards, and you were asking about something coming up, but I really get the sense of, I get the sense that you've been overcoming these obstacles. You can overcome anything. And I had actually pulled from a different deck, and I kind of got the same thing, that there were things that you're going through a metamorphosis. And I like the message that came out with the overcoming obstacles, that I think obviously there's been blockages for you, but I like the way that this is just explaining how to go through to the other side of this, because I think a lot of us could use this energy. You do have all the inner resources you need, not just to overcome the difficulty, but also to thrive, no matter what. If there is a dream that you desire that has eluded you, know that you have all the inner skills to move beyond any blockages preventing you from achieving this goal. Use any obstacle as a stepping stone to great achievements and success in your life. And I think that is the key. The blockage is part of what is going to make you stronger, and using that as a stepping stone. It's like you come upon something, and sometimes the universe puts something in your way because it's trying to make you switch directions, but you can use that as a stepping stone to go, to change course. I really do think that there is something that's been blocking, but I think that is something that you can move through. What else? I'm getting something else here too. It's that butterfly metamorphosis. You're right in the middle of this change. So do I think that there are good things that are coming in for you? Yes. But I think just like when we're setting this new intention, that protection, setting an intention with a boundary, I am going to be setting an intention that this is what I want to happen within the next 6 months. So I would say, I think this is coming up for you within the next 6 months, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be stronger because of this. What is that? Oh, the message. Okay. When a butterfly emerges from its cocoon, it has to do it with a lot of struggle. Because if it doesn't struggle, then it's not strong enough. The wings won't be strong enough for it to fly. The struggle is part of the process. So take that with you as well. But I think that this is making you stronger, and it will serve you well later on. And I still think it's like the next 6 months are going to be it's going to be a mess in the collective. It'll be fine for you. You'll be like, oh, this is nothing. What's this? Right? I mean, so that's the energy that I'm getting, is just like what you've gone through has made you stronger. So take that with you, because I think things are going to be changing in a big way for you in the next 6 months. So congratulations. We'll go on to Sri.
All right. And I am reading for Miss Erica. So welcome. And I pulled again from the Angels and Auras deck, and I pulled the Peace card. And you can see the depiction of a man, and you can see the chakra centers, but surrounding him is all white light. And so, Erica, your boundary is about doing whatever you need to do to remain in peace. Okay. Now, this color, white, is very important on this card. And it is the core color of spirituality, and it includes your connection to your guardian angels. So in this particular situation, in the context of a boundary, what Spirit is basically saying is that whatever you need to do to keep your chakra system clear. So the exercise that we did at the very beginning, where I just put the white light all the way through the chakras, connects it to Mother Earth. You put the protection around you. You ask Archangel Michael to be with you. That is going to be really key. And the outcome is you're going to remain at peace with yourself, your energy, your choices. It does suggest that your chakras right now are in alignment. So when it's upright, if it was reversed, it would say you've probably got some chakras that need some tweaking. But right now, this suggests you're in a really good flow. But in order to keep your energy high vibrational, positive, and clear, you're going to have to set the boundaries around you so that those who are toxic or who have lower vibration won't be able to impact your energy and pull you off of center. I don't know how many times this week where people were trying to pull me off of center, and I was like, nope, got to go right back. So this is, I guess, your awareness that keep this beautiful white energy running through your chakras and use it to protect yourself. But you may have to set some boundaries with some relationships around you whose vibrations are lower and probably drama filled, and they are probably not productive. And so you're just going to have to either back away from them, or in some cases you may have to consider staying away from some of these people on a longer term basis, because you cannot sacrifice your progress, your goals, and that beautiful, peaceful energy and place that you want to stay. So with that, hopefully that resonated, Erica, and I'll turn it back to Wendy.
Okay. And I pulled a card for Joanna Jones, and you would ask for a card for your next steps. So I pulled from Alice the Wonderland, and we got the number 1 card, All in the Golden Afternoon. This is all about inspiration, creative spark, imagination, conception, a muse heading your way. So it's a time to create an imaginative idea. Inspiration takes hold, talent and ability. The muse touches down in your life. Get ready. So what it says here too is it's about like when you want to tell a story, when you have this spark in you and you are humming along, trying to think of all of the details. This is the moment right before that. So you may still be quite unaware that it is heading your way, but it is about to hit this kind of spark of inspiration. And this can be, it doesn't have to be necessarily in a creative wavelength, like doing, drawing, singing, writing, dancing, art. It doesn't necessarily have to be artistic. It could be just a creative solution to a problem that you're experiencing, or using visualization to improve like your a physical activity or psychic ability, or just kind of getting a fresh perspective on something. So be ready. I feel like it is going to be something that is kind of going to strike kind of a chord and create possibly a major change coming your way. So so get ready to feel that creative spark come, and hopefully it will help with whatever you have going. So hopefully that resonated for you, Joanna, and I'm going to pass to Jen.
Okay, I have pulled for Misty, and I think I remember Misty saying yesterday was her birthday, so happy birthday, Misty. And so I pulled with the Biblical Tarot for you, and we've got the 10 of Candles, and it says Jeremiah's burdens. And so this is about the boundaries that you need to be setting. And like what I'm getting is like the burdens on your back, the burdens that you're carrying, they are not all yours. And it's just, you have to learn when to say no. And it's like, I feel like that you're the type of person who gives chance after chance after chance after chance. And so you've got to learn to let your no mean no and let your yes mean yes, and to know what is your responsibility and when you are actually helping people and when you're just enabling them. And so, I mean, like, I think that just some people are just taking advantage of your kindness. And that's just what I get. It's just the chance after chance after chance after chance. How many chances are you going to give to the same people when you've, told them, like, because I think maybe you're expecting them to see how heavy this load is, and they don't actually care as long as they don't have to carry it. As long as you're willing to do it, they're willing to let you do it. So you're going to need to set the boundaries about letting your yes mean yes, your no mean no, and not giving as many chances to people as what you've been known to give. Okay, so now moving to Dawn.
Hi, and this is for Anna, and I really, really loved this card. This is Tai Chi Rising. And what it says is your energy field is growing stronger with more spiritual electricity pulsing through your being. Take time to nourish your nervous system as it adjusts, and be gentle with yourself as you adjust to increasing levels of spiritual potency, which gives more impact to your words, actions, and thoughts. May you be strong and merciful, powerful and wise in equal measure. So I do feel like there's been a lot going on with you, and especially when we've had all this energy of Uranus and Gemini, that nervous system thing that has been coming up in people. But I really get that the stronger that you are becoming spiritually, how do I put this? When you are strong, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. Let me put it that way. You are coming from your own strength, and you don't have to give excuses for anything. Your decision is your decision, and you are more powerful than you are allowing yourself to be. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. And that came through as I was initially reading the card. I'm like, you're going to do what you want to do, and don't explain yourself to anybody else. They're not owed that at all. And as you get stronger and more confident in yourself, which is very much this Virgo energy is, we're all self-critical, but she is also high priestess. And it's like, who are you? And, take that attitude. Who are you to question me? It's just like, who the heck are you? Right. So take that energy, because I really feel that, the more that you go inside yourself and realize your power and your strength, what somebody else thinks is not going to matter. It's just going to be like, who are you? Away, right? So I really think you are rising up. Do give yourself time to adjust. This week is going to be nice. It's going to be a little bit quieter this week as we kind of recover from all of this energy that we just had, as we're gearing up for the eclipse energy. But I think you're going to get stronger and stronger. So yeah, that's what I would say about that energy. And for anybody else out there, it was just like, you're a high priestess. You don't owe anybody any explanations whatsoever. So take that energy with you, and I will turn it back over to Sari to close.
All right. Listen, what a great session. And we are so grateful to have your support and for being with us this evening. Some great and powerful messages around self-care, setting boundaries, keeping our energy protected from toxic forces or people around us. And again, it's easy to set the boundary, but sometimes hard to enforce it. So again, wishing everyone a beautiful weekend, and stay safe, stay grounded, out in nature, do your meditations, just be in peace and in love. And we will see you next week. We will actually be having a special guest next week, and we will be announcing that. We will have a channeler coming on our channel to do a live session with us by the name of Betsy Morgan. So more information will be forthcoming. We won't pull cards next week. It will be all focused on Betsy, and she channels the energies of Orion. And she is a hoot, but she is really, really powerful and has some amazing messages from the energies of Orion. So with that, we'll let you go. Again, we're so grateful for you, and stay in peace. We'll see you next time.